So what we're seeing is what people are trying to automate is a lot more the fintech use cases related to ARP, invoicing, three-way matching. We are seeing an incremental need for legacy systems which do not have an architecturally an API integrations. We are seeing our customers doing as simple as website scraping, bringing the data into, creating Excel, taking that data and then putting it into their legacy systems. We are seeing customers reading a lot of invoices. Our customers have been using for a lot of integration purposes. They've been using not only the process integration but the application integrations as well. I think there are quite a few new features which have been introduced, but right now what we've been using is a lot of object cloning. We've been using a lot of screen scraping. We've been using those are some of the primarily features, but inbuilt in email functionality, some of the integrations in terms of incorporating the like heterogeneous systems like Python scripting and other things also we've been able to use it very wisely. Using automation anywhere, we are able to reduce that human function, not exactly replacing the human, but efficiently increasing the productivity of that particular human by going and collecting that data and entering that data into the CCT system, like contract systems. What we are trying to automate is invoice creation process, supplier requisition processes. Most of the employees are 70% tactical and 30% analytical. We're trying to flip the switch to make them 70% analytical and 30% tactical. Compared to the rest of the industry, this particular product is easy to use, and not only from the technology perspective but from a business user as well. So we have been very successful in terms of, we haven't seen a situation where we have trained a particular set of users of customers and they've come back complaining that they are not able to use it. Some of the products in the industry not been able to be really great because they are more technology or IT focused rather than business focused. So what we do is we try to what we call it like 3D or 3V. The way we do the value proposition is three ways. A is of course the direct cost saving in terms of how many manual labor hours we are saving. Second thing is an indirect, which is like productivity improvisation of the bot. And the third thing is the overall efficiency of the system. So for example, right, today what happens is when people do the ROI calculation, they just focus on a particular process. In case of a supplier, if the requisition creation was taking a week, the rest of the processes were getting delayed. The ecosystem processes were automatically improvised as well, even though RPA did not even touch it. So those are some of the things what we try to bring into the picture when we do the ROI calculation, other than direct cost. It's been pretty good scalable product so far. I mean, you have seen the numbers, right? The number of customers are growing year over year. People are deploying like hundreds and thousands of bots. We haven't had any scalability issue at this point in time. Cloud was one of the features because it becomes much easier. Second one was ease of use in terms of agnostic. So we did see that getting released in next few quarters. A lot of customers have been asking being operating system agnostic. So today it runs mostly on Windows, and I believe that is also coming. So I come from an investment background. So when we were doing a SWOT analysis of which product to go with, we looked at a couple of three products. One was UiPath, we looked at Automation Anywhere and Blue Prism. What we found was Automation Anywhere was ease of use. The promise what they had was much more appealing compared to the other products. So that's why we ended up choosing that. 7.5 and 8. It's not because the product doesn't serve the purpose, but every product has a lot of room for improvement. Hopefully we'll get to like 9 next year. So one of the features like what we would love to have is, we are talking about cloud, we are talking about running on the Linux, we are talking about the out-of-the-box integration availability with like a larger ecosystem like Salesforce, Workday, Microsoft, or if somebody is an AWS shop, it should be much easier for them to use it. So there's a lot of improvement in terms of either infrastructure provisioning plus a cloud usability or ease of use. What we have seen, and this is how you can measure the ROI, because most of the customers start with a smaller licensing pack and they are increasing their investment in terms of the licensing and services every year. Some customers start with like $10,000 and they end up spending like $300,000 just on the licensing over 2 years period. That speaks for itself.